It was the summer of 1987. It was the summer right between our 7th and 8th grade year. There was a new family that moved in our neighborhood, the Simmericks. Nick Simmerick, Oliver Simmerick. I don't even know where their people were at right now, but they were what you would call rich. Our neighborhood, we weren't poor, but we were like all middle class. But these people moved in the neighborhood, and apparently they were rich. They had a grandma that took them everywhere and bought them everything. That was like a nanny. They called her Nanny. She became our neighborhood nanny. So Nick Simmerick, probably our age, and he trying to assimilate in our neighborhood because we got the best neighborhood in Elizabethtown. Chris Crawford's parties, access to our own baseball diamond. Is it like, come on, serious football field, basketball courts, right in our neighborhood. Having access and friendships in our neighborhood was huge. Mike got a pass by being friends with me because I grew up at the Crawford's house ever since I was a kid. Danny Crawford, Calvin, went to prom with my sister Michelle back in 1984, back when I was 10 years old, 9 years old. So I've been going to the Crawford's house for all my life. I've been Odie, Sue, Faye, Chris, Alan, Angie, all Crawfords, my family. Simmericks move into town. Simmericks want to hang out with us, and they were the type of people that wanted to buy our friendship. And we were at Crawford's house playing spades, ping pong. It was a Friday, listening to music and things that we did on a summer day in our neighborhood. So Nick comes over and we're like, oh man, we're hungry. He's like, oh, let's order some pizzas. We're like, man, we ain't got no pizza money. And he pulls out a checkbook. Nick pulls out a checkbook and he's like, I'll just write a check. And then Mike looks at me and I look at Mike and we're like, what the fuck is going on? All right, Mike calls Mr. Gaddy's immediately. Nick said he'd buy the pizzas. Mike's on it, got Crawford's phone, call up Mr. Gaddy's, getting Mr. Gaddy's delivery. Everybody got a pizza that day. I'm talking about large pizza from Mr. Gaddy. I think it was like $70. There was like 10 of us over there. Everybody got a large pizza. And Nick just wrote a check for it. And it didn't even bat Nick's eye. Later on that night, Terry Crawford was going to Boston to make a run because he was having a party that night. So we threw in money and Terry bought us a case of Kruger beer. I think it's like $5 back at the time. Nick had access to his parents' checkbook. So we got Nana to ride us over to IGA, his nanny, to drive us over to IGA Houchins. He wrote a check to himself for mowing grass. Nick did. And he came out with a $50. So we had money. We went to Troy's Funway Speedway, spent some money over there, came back, gave Terry Crawford some money for some beer. Later on that day, Nick came up with the plan to go joyriding in Nana's car. So we're like, all right, we'll go. We meet Nick at his house. Everybody's asleep. Families are asleep. Me and Mike, we ain't got to worry about it because Mike done told his mom he's spending the night with me. I don't have no curfew in my neighborhood. I can just roam my neighborhood at any time that I want to at 13 years old. Ain't nobody checking on me as long as you didn't die. You know what I'm saying? You were good. Nick has this idea to steal his grandma's car. He's like, what we'll do is I'll get the keys. Y'all meet me at my house. We'll turn the key, put it in neutral, push it out of the driveway, push it down the hill. When we get it down by Heather Schaefer's house, we'll start it up, pull it up by Crawford's house, and then we'll see what goes on from there. Plan worked out good. Chris was like, I'm with it. I need to go pick up Sandra McDougal from the hill. Chris Crawford had either his learning permit, so he knew how to drive. He had been driving. He was like, hell yeah, I'll go pick up Sandra, because we didn't want to drive. We just wanted to joy ride. First, my brother's with us. My brother's with us. So we push the car back, and then all of us are pushing the car, and none of us are in there to stop the goddamn car. So we're pushing it, and it keeps rolling, and it keeps rolling, and it keeps rolling, and it hits a fire hydrant right in front of Garrett Lucan's house, in between Catherine Lefevre's and Garrett Lucan's house. It hits this fire hydrant. My brother takes the fuck off. He's gone. Kaufman was like, where'd your brother go? My brother was gone. He went straight home. He's like, I'm not messing with y'all. Y'all are crazy. We push the car down the hill. Everything's going wonderful. Only mess up that we had was Nick's little 10-year-old brother found out about the plan. So he was like, if I can't go, I'm telling Nana. So we were like, what would we do? We had to let the little punk come with us. Oliver had to come with us. Well, you got to sit in the back. You got to sit all the way in the back in the hatchback of this car. All of us fed in this car. Crawford went to go pick up Sandra McDougal. We're all joyriding. I can remember it because it was right about the time that LL Cool J, I'm Bad, My Radio came out, and they played it on B96.5. And we were like, oh, we were jamming to I'm Bad or My Radio. Crawford came back. It's like, I'm staying at the house. We had beer there. We were like, fuck this. We're going joyride. Mike talks. We're like, well, who's going to drive? Who's driving? And Mike's like, I don't know who's driving, but we're going. So we all jump in the car, and the person who gets behind the wheel was Sonny. So Sonny's driving, and we somehow make it to Louisville. We get to Louisville, and then we're like, all right, that's too far. Because back then, Louisville was only a 30-minute drive there and a 30-minute drive back to E-Town. So we get to Louisville, we turn back around, and we're coming back, partying. 13 years old, 14 years old, partying. Got a 10-year-old Oliver in the back of the car, in his grandma's stolen car. We're passing Lebanon Junction, exit 105, and we're coming up the hill like we're about to approach exit 94. And Sonny goes to merge over, and Sonny clips this car. Sonny's 14, I'm 13, Mike's 13, Nick's 12, Oliver's 10. Sonny nicks this car. I don't even know if Danny's with us or not. Nicks this car. So we're driving and we're like, what are we gonna do? Because the car is next to us, like full horn on. Pull over, pull over, pull over. He's on the driver's side giving Sonny the business. Pull over, honking his horn. Pull over. You just clipped me, pull over. And we're shitting bricks. Oliver pukes, 10-year-old, drinking Kruger beer. Puke. So we got 10-year-old puke, some dude next to us. We're in a stolen car, joyriding. So we know the roads. We know Horton County roads. So we get up to exit 94 and Mike's like, y'all better not brake. You better not pull over, Sonny. You listen to me right now, Sonny. Y'all want you to do exactly what I tell you. And then Mike, because Mike is good under pressure. I am not going to lie. He's great under pressure. Mike was like, we're about to approach exit 94. Once you get up to exit 94, I want you to hit the lights off and coast up the hill, up like you're going to exit 94. And he's going to go right past us. And Sonny was like, I don't know how this happened, but we go to hit exit 94. You can see Denny's. You can see the Denny's sign, and Sonny hits the lights, takes off the gas, and starts to veer over to the right to hit exit 94. And you see this car go right past us, and we go up in this car. We see the brake lights going, and we're gone. We're gone. There's nothing he can do about it. Nothing he can do about it. You talking about adrenaline. We are up in arms. We are going at it. We're like, oh, we did it. We beat it. But there's two things. We just wrecked a car. How are we going to explain the missing hubcap on the car? How are we going to explain Oliver puke all in the back of the hatchback of the car? Kruger beer, 10-year-old dude, boy, puking. Oh, it was disgusting. We get back to the house. We park the car. Nick comes up with the plan. He says, I'm just going to tell my grandma that she must have hit it when she was driving herself. And it worked. I don't even know what the moral of the story is. After we dropped the car off, I followed Mike this time. I wasn't sticking around to see anything. Me and Mike went back to my house, laughed our asses off, got up the very next day, and made it to baseball game. We had a baseball game at 10 o'clock in the morning because we played for the Druthers Pirates about down at EABC. That is how we rolled.